What's up, guys? This is Crypto Pros here, bringing you another cryptocurrency related video. So this one is going to be about what would it take for BTC to hit $50,000. So I definitely think it's possible. There are a few things that I believe have to happen for this to take place. And I mean, the more of these things that happen, the better. So I have a list of about 6 or 7 different things, and if they all happen, I mean, we're gonna see a huge year for crypto. And I feel like they could all happen, but it would have to be the perfect storm, as some say. So let's start right out. Let's just check out some of the specifics about it right now. So it's at $146 billion market cap. Volume is 6 billion. Which is still pretty crazy. I mean, Bitcoin's still the king. It's going to be a king for a long time coming. And max supply is 21 million, and that's the magic number. That's why people like it so much. So it's limited. Circulating supply is 16 million, and so there's about 4 or 5 million left to be mined. So let's check out the market. I mean, you guys have seen this many times before, so let's just go over some of the basics, because I haven't really gotten into the details of Bitcoin ever, so let's just take a quick look. So Bitcoin was pretty much founded in, I believe, 2009 by Satoshi Nakamoto. No one really knows who he is, but so CoinMarketCap came out on CoinMarketCap May 9th, or before that actually, so let's see the exact day. So around April 28th, 2013, and dropped at $135, and then we see it in here under 1,000 for a long time. And then recently, I mean, we saw this huge spike. I mean, anyone that's been in the space for any amount of time knows that that's unhealthy. It's not good to see. We want to see, let's go to the year chart and I can show you what I'm talking about. So when we see a rise, we want it to be slow and controlled, and we want it to dip a little bit on the way up. So like these rises and valleys right in here. So we can see it go up here, and then we see it go down a little bit. I mean, that's sustained growth. And then we see a drop here from like 4.6 down to about 3.5. So that's good, and then it goes up again. So that's kind of the sustained growth that you want to see. And then all of a sudden we see this huge spike from like 6.3 all the way up to 11, and then it drops a little bit, and then it goes all the way up to like 20k. So that's the all-time high. And then we just see a drop here. So yeah, things that would have to happen for Bitcoin to hit 50k, which I think it will eventually. It's just going to take the perfect storm of things, like I said. So some of the things that need to happen is, for one, there needs to be minor regulation to ensure limited market manipulation by like whales. So I know that people in the space hate hearing the word regulation. It sounds terrible, but it's actually it would actually be a good thing in moderation. So we don't want governments to just come in and ban it, because I mean that would definitely I mean, we're seeing it now with China banning exchanges. I mean, all the FUD that's surrounding Bitcoin right now, it's not good for the growth. So we don't want too much, but we also don't want too little, because like a free-for-all Wild West market like we're seeing right now can actually be bad, and we've seen that with market manipulation. So manipulation by whales, like institutional investors, it pretty much just means forcing the price up or down, and like forcing it down to cause fear, and then buying it back up drives the price up, and then that kind of gets people to FOMO in, and then that just drives the price up. They make a ton of money and then they sell off, and then it's just a cycle. And we just kind of need a little bit of regulation, minor regulation, like I said, to kind of keep that from happening, you know. So not too much, but not too little. The second thing is government support to mitigate FUD. So like I said, with the whole China ban thing, I mean, we need the US to get behind cryptocurrencies, and even if they don't, or even if these things don't happen, guys, all the things that I'm going to list here, even if they don't happen, or if 1 or 2 of them happen this year, I still think that long term it's still going to win. Bitcoin will still win as far as going up in the long term. But as far as short term growth, I mean, I don't know. I think it's going to grow a lot slower. It's just going to slow the growth of Bitcoin if these things don't occur, but it still will grow long term, like I said. So yeah, the second thing is government support. The third thing is like real world use of crypto. So we want it to be able to be used in the real world. Like as far as right now, people are just hodling it and they're not using it for anything. So if we want it to see mass adoption, we definitely need to have real world uses. And that leads me to my next point, which is reduce fees. So we need fees to be reduced, and we need increased retail acceptance. So if more stores start accepting it and the fees come down, then it would actually make it a viable option for like an actual currency. But right now people are just holding it as a store of value, which is fine, but we need it to be a store of value and something that you can actually use. So that's very important to me. So yeah, real world use, like I said, real world use of cryptocurrency, very important. And then this is kind of a negative thing for the US overall, but I mean, bank failures would actually speed up this whole process. I mean, people would then get scared out of banks and then want to put their money in something they can control. And I mean, that's ultimately what it's about. Like the sheeple, as some people say, will have to just make a decision and have a desire to take control of their own finances. So they just have to decide on their own that they don't want governments and third parties controlling their money. They want to control their own money. So that is the big plus side of Bitcoin. I mean, that's why it's so popular right now, because people are tired of governments and banks controlling their money. They want to control it themselves, and that's very, very important. So I would say ultimately the most important thing as far as market trends go is that it will send Bitcoin to the moon if we see stability in the market. So I kind of mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but we just want to see Bitcoin have a slow growth. I mean, shooting up is cool for day traders, but in the long term, the slower and more sustained the growth, the better it is for the hodlers. So I mean, ultimately, we're still going to make it to the destination, but when it will happen is pretty much determined by some of the characteristics I've listed. So that's pretty much it, guys. I just kind of made a short list. I wanted to make this video just to tell you guys what I thought about Bitcoin and if it could hit 50K, and I definitely think it's possible. I think it could possibly hit it by the end of 2018. I mean, I definitely think it will go back up to 20K. But again, guys, this isn't financial advice. I'm not a licensed financial counselor. This is just a YouTube video, and I'm just a YouTuber, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. But with that, I'm going to end the video. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite cryptocurrency is, and maybe I will review it.